Thousands of Sunnis took part in a protest on Friday. That rally came at a time of mounting sectarian tension. It was a peaceful demonstration despite calls from al-Qaeda for Sunnis to go to war against the Shia-led government. The demonstrators want the government to end what they call the marginalization of Sunni leaders and revoke anti-terrorism laws which they say unfairly target Sunnis. And they're also calling for the release of prisoners held under those laws. President Nouri al-Maliki has already released hundreds of detainees in order to appease the protesters. The demonstrators are calling for equal representations in state institutions and security forces. And a trial for the soldiers accused of killing 7 protesters last week. This from Jane Araf.
This was the biggest gathering in Fallujah since the war. It's known as the City of Mosques. But instead, more than 100,000 people came here for Friday prayers, the highway to Baghdad. They came to honor the young men shot dead by Iraqi soldiers last week. And they warned they wouldn't let it happen again.
We told the government we don't want to see a soldier from this point on, not just in Fallujah, but in all the suburbs and villages.
Al-Qaeda has called for Sunnis to take up arms, but this was a peaceful demonstration. Some waved the Saddam-era Iraqi flag. They say this is still an occupation government, rounding up innocent citizens.
When they arrest our women and our young men and take away our rights, we can't allow it. In Fallujah, in Anbar, and all over Iraq, Sunnis, Shias, Kurds, Turkmen won't allow one Iraqi right to be taken away from them.
Tens of thousands turned out in the provincial capital, Ramadi. Tribal leaders and religious officials rolled back on what was to have been a coordinated call for Prime Minister Maliki to step down. They're holding that in reserve. There was tight security in other Sunni areas. In Samarra, north of Baghdad, an estimated 40,000 worshippers held Friday prayers in a public square. They accused the Iraqi government of killing its own people and called for a ban on arms sales. The anger continued in Mosul, a focus of counter-terrorism campaigns by Iraqi security forces. The huge demonstrations are over, but the protests continue. This protest site inside Fallujah isn't far from where the 7 young men were shot dead by Iraqi forces a week ago. And it's the center of a movement that people here say will spread across the country. Jane Araf, Al Jazeera, Fallujah.